Greetings everyone. I am happy to meet you again on another video, and in this video I'm going to go into the earth research topic, one of the three topics in ourmoonlife.com. And if you see, in all of the three topics I've explained what the basics of what is given in the universe research and what is given in the moon research. All three research formats has a connective nature to it, and it's very much complementing each other in the kind of knowledge that is given in the website. If you see, as I've told, the universe research holds all the fundamentals that is required for us to understand the newer practical methodologies that are proposed in our moon on the moon research subject, uh, on how livelihood can be created on another planet, and uh, and the earth research uh, uh, extends our existing knowledge, that what we know on earth, and this not only that, it helps us gain a clear picture on what our earth currently holds, in helping us understand how exactly the natural structures are required to be created on another planet. uh, so as I said on in previous videos, uh, the fundamentals that are holding science, which we are currently using as the biggest tool in understanding our livelihood on this planet, and making ourselves equipped to travel to another planet, uh, to make our livelihood on another planet. We are to understand the fundamental layer, fundamental that is holding science together, and that understanding, uh, how how important it is to understand that fundamentals on another planet. Similarly, if we are to know all those connections, our existing planet that we are living in, where we have our major amount of knowledge, we need to understand how it already works, and that paves a huge understanding on how exactly we need to understand the knowledge that we gain on another planet. And uh, and the article that I'm currently looking at is Earth, the Entirety of Life, in Our Moon Life Research article. And if you read all of usual research content in harmonlife.com, each has an entire flow to it, from the top to the bottom. So it will build up the necessary amount of emotion and preset that is required to understand the concept behind the proposal that's coming on the bottom of the topic, and it ex- it explores the knowledge in it. For instance, here in this particular article, uh, our placement in this universe is discussed in detail, and then we go into the topic where Earth is being an entirety of life, for which the nature of life is being described, and the nature of life that exists on our Earth is being described, and then the fundamentals to that life's existence on Earth, which is the five grand fundamental elements of nature, and its nature of existence on Earth is being discussed. And finally, all of this is concluded onto the point where life solution, and that is where, if you'd see, the importance of the five grand fundamental elements operation happening together is being described. And in my understanding of the knowledge I've gathered with hormone life research, I'd like to share the operations of each five fundamental elements and how they are together. So in that element, if you see water, as an element, and heat as an element, soil as an element, uh, you'd see that uh, the nature of water uh, interacts with every other element on earth in multiple dimensions. So if you say take soil as a separate element, you'd know that soil particle would you know has the nature of like being joined with each other. It has an adhesive nature to it, and it has certain amount of nutrition in it. So these are separate natures of soil. But on earth, though this is the nature of soil, we don't see just that. We see always air being mixed in its nature. You see water being in a mixture with it in some sort of a way. You will see some moisture in it if you dig deep enough, and even in the driest of places. And you'd see like the space in between the soil that exists, and the nature of it varying between the type of soil, and these many like iterations that happen in this fundamental element, right? uh, the complexity of this nature is even in higher number of layers, where if you see uh, on a grand scale, this is even more simpler to be seen. Like for instance, even in this article, if you see uh, the you know the the order in which each and every element is being interacted, you'd see first water comes in, and then you'd see soil, and then uh, heat, and then space. And the reason why water comes in first is that if you see uh, uh, not compared to any part on the universe, like over here the most important presence on the most lowest latitude is water, and you'd see water's predominance on every material you come across. It will have its present in some sort of a volume, and as we get to a slightly higher state, right, you will start seeing soil being the particulated state. You'll see dust, you'll see soil being the entirety, and as we grow in the altitude, and we go beyond, the predominance of air is seen in more of its own predominant nature. And as we grow higher in altitude, we see the predominance of space being there, and that is in the nature of this planet, and that is where these interactions are given. And beyond that, these elements existing in the outer layer of the planet, these connecting with them is what is described in my understanding. If you see when air interacting with air, and heat interacting with heat, when it is being described, and those air, heat that are outside the planet's surface, right, that you need to understand in a sense that like in the universe, if you see the same kind of order is slightly different in the universe, and the order over there is the first let's yeah, I'd say, yeah, we'll start with the first thing over there is again soil. Soil comes as the first, the planetary formation, and then there's the possibility of water, then air, then heat, and then the space. And this is the, if you see in this order, you'll understand what is the nature that's being defined over there. So when soil is said, you're seeing material, matter, and when we go into the next layer, water, we see the possibility of liquid states, and a cooling nature on the material. and this is where the possibility of life is measured. You'll see, like, if water plays a huge role in life, and if you grow a bit in distance, and you'd see the predominance of uh, air is saying air is a more of a communicative nature between the heat and the water elements, and which is very essential in the rotation of the entire universe. And the next element, if you'd see, is heat, which is currently in a very stabilized state around the universe. And then we see space. So this kind of nature, right? When you understand this nature, and that being connected with these existential nature on the planet, and these elements that are like where you can actually feel it over here, there it's more of a conceptual understanding, and these connectivity needs to be there for life's livelihood to form on a planet. And this is where it gets really like advanced. This Why is it so important that these two needs to be in connected state? It just shows that if life's sustenance has formed, and like the nature is in such a supple way for life to exist, then these elements should be in connection, is what is derived in this article. And that is the most important aspect of this article as well, the conclusive element to it. And that's while we travel towards it, we try getting as much as knowledge as possible in terms of understanding what's in it, to better our understanding of what requires to be done in order to create a livelihood on another planet, and what are the fundamental requirements of it. And we are trying to take that from our experience on this planet, and this is one such article. There is this one beautiful statement in this article where it said that it is only on this planet Earth is where we find both the operations of five grand fundamental elements of nature, and the life that exists on the planet coexist together. And this is the only place, and it just shows how important it is to take reference from it. And thank you for the opportunity, guys. I hope to connect back with you on another video. Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity. Bye.